Last time in this hardcore world, I beat the Ender Dragon, and in this episode I'm going to try to fight all the bosses I haven't fought yet, so that's the Elder Guardian and the Wither, as well as do a raid. And as a side note, I'll be streaming hardcore on Tuesday here on this channel and on my Twitch, so subscribe here to watch those streams. Anyway, at the beginning, I explored the end, I found some end cities, I fought some shulkers, and I got some elytra. Then I flew to another boat, I got another elytra, I got some dragon heads, and then went back to the overworld. I set up the dragon egg in the center of town as a kind of monument. I had this villager who had a duplicate trade, so I kind of took care of him. Then I got this villager to have Unbreaking 3. I changed up the setup of my librarian villagers a little bit. Then I added Unbreaking and Mending to my elytra. Traded some villagers, and I deforested a decent area of the forest nearby, and I got rid of the last couple houses that were in the area. Then on day 105, I went to the nether to get some wither skeleton skulls so I could have enough to fight the wither and not to worry about it. Then I almost died while I was farming those, and in fact I almost died twice in the span of less than 30 seconds, so that's kind of crazy, but luckily I don't die, so you know. I got the 3 skulls I needed, so I went ahead and left. Then I traded some villagers. I repaired some of my nearby golems to make sure that they could protect the villagers while I was away. I went off to go find a pillager tower, and I fought in my first ever raid, and near the end of that raid, this pillager killed the iron golem. So I went home and made a memorial for the golem. Then I spent a few days doing more deforestation. And then this wandering trader showed up, and he was crazy enough to try to scam me. He was trying to sell me dark oak saplings in a dark oak forest, so I had to take care of him too. Then I went back to the nether, so I could find a bastion and loot the bastion. And then I found another bastion that was more out in the open. And I decided to take it kind of slow because the brutes are very aggressive and they hit really hard. So you don't want to be hit by them. They can basically 2-shot you or 3-shot you in full pro armor. So they're not things to be trifled with. Then when I went back to the overworld, I went mining for a bit. I used the materials I had mined, mostly the stone, to build the dark room spawner. It's basically as old as the game is. Basically people have been making versions of this forever, so it's not a new concept. I added slabs to the ground so that spiders couldn't spawn. Basically they have to have a 3x3 area of air, and so if you block each of those 3x3 areas with a slab, they can't spawn. I put some trapdoors on the ceiling of some of the areas to make it so only creepers could spawn in those areas because they're a little bit shorter than the other mobs. Then I removed the torches so the mobs could spawn, and I escaped. Now the drop area isn't complete because I need to add hoppers so I can automatically collect all the items that the mobs drop. So I smelted up some iron to get the hoppers, and I blocked off the drop chute so I could work without having the potential of dying. I added the hoppers to collect the items and carpet on top so the XP didn't get trapped inside the hoppers. Then I spent almost 10 days mining the tallest obsidian pillar. I didn't get all of it, but I got most of it. I only had efficiency 4 and I didn't have haste, so I really wasted a lot of time. I should have just waited till I had a beacon and efficiency 5. Then I stored all that obsidian I got. I repaired my pickaxe at the darkroom spawner. I enchanted a fishing rod and I fished for a bit. Then I caught a fish in a bucket because it's an advancement and it's easy. And then I went out in search of an ocean monument, and I found one, but it was pretty far away. Because it was so far away, I decided to get a cartographer so I could get an ocean monument map so I could hopefully find a closer one. And then I also got a woodland mansion map, and I got a map so I can map the area. I prepped for the Elder Guardian fight by getting water breathing potions and night vision potions. And then I went around trying to find some axolotls in this kind of cave I made so that they would spawn, but I didn't find any. On day 149, I took off in search of the Ocean Monument. On day 150, I raided the Ocean Monument. I killed the 3 Elder Guardians. And then I got some milk to get rid of that mining fatigue. So I could grab the sponges from the sponge rooms and the gold from the treasure room. Then I headed back home. Back at home, I repaired my armor. I made a chicken farm. And I collected some iron golems just in case the wither fight went south. Then I spent a bunch of days chopping down, I think, the biggest section of forest I've destroyed in this world in one sitting. And then I repaired my axe. Then I mined the rest of the obsidian pillar, still without efficiency 5 or haste, so it's still pretty dumb. It ended up just about being a double chest full of obsidian, which is actually a lot of obsidian. I made some strength potions for the wither fight, as well as some golden apples and some milk. I made probably one of the most efficient iron farms I've seen. The link will be down in the description. Then I spent the day at the mob farm to make sure that the iron farm was in the spawn chunks and would work as long as I'm in the overworld. The iron farm actually was crazy. It made over a stack of iron in one day, so I had to increase the storage to make sure it wouldn't overflow too soon. I spent another couple of days at the mob farm and I got past level 50. I kit up the zombie at the iron farm. Then I wanted some more shulker boxes, so I went end raiding to get more shulker shells. I used the new feature of the shulker's ability to kind of spawn another shulker when they're hit by a shulker bullet, and I made tons of shulkers with that. And I mean tons of shulkers, like look at how many there are. I got a couple more elytras, and I found the biggest end city I've ever seen in person. When I got back to the main end island, all the towers were fixed, and so I knew something was wrong. But at least the end portal was intact, right? So I could get back to the overworld. So I got my 3 elytras enchanted with Unbreaking 3 and Mending. And headed out to the ocean. But as I was flying out to the ocean, I found another problem. The world wasn't generating. And I couldn't force load the chunks at all. On top of that, any chunks I had already loaded also weren't reloading. So I tried for weeks to fix it. I tried loading a backup from before the Elder Guardian fight, but no matter what I did, it didn't work. So I decided that after a few weeks of trying and nothing happening, I just gave up. Decided what I had to do. I decided to die to end the world, and I'm going to have to restart the world. So I'll be starting my next world on stream, on YouTube here, and on my Twitch page on Tuesday the 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm sad to lose this world, but, you know, there's nothing I can really do about it, so I just have to move on and hope the next world is as good as this one.